Okay, well, it's a very brief overview of the APRA coup d'etat in 1950, January. It was a failed coup d'etat. Essentially, Indonesia was going through quite a lot of change after essentially power was transferred from the Dutch colonialists. It was led by a Dutch military leader, and the whole idea was to take out, first of all, Bandung, which they did, capture an old KNIL, which is basically a Dutch East Indies Army depot, take the artillery, take the ammunition up to Jakarta, where the rest of the APRA forces would be waiting for it, and take out Jakarta. Now, the fall of Bandung and Jakarta was supposed to be simultaneous, and after that they would then move down to Buitenzorg and then pretty much sort of a few other places. But they didn't get the ammunition there, and the coup failed within 24 hours or so. And so that's a basic overview. I think it's just another interesting scenario historically, but as a game it's not competitive. I mean, and furthermore, I'm not sure how these units will fare in combat because they've got zero factors. There'll probably be some divisions by zero or things that just don't make sense, and so it's not really. Hopefully, if there's a problem, I haven't tried yet, I'll be able to fix it. But they're not designed to be. This isn't designed to be played aggressively in any way. I'm really just doing the demonstration. So essentially, what we've got here is now I could have done these in a different colour because they're not actually owned by anyone, but this is the ammunition. It's called supply. It's a supply unit, but it's basically this is the ammunition. They're in trucks, got no offensive capability, so it's not really owned by anyone. The first thing that happened was that that shouldn't really be an objective now. I've got the two places mixed around the wrong way when I set it up, but that's something else. Don't worry about that. So the first thing that APRA do is to take out this place here. Now, because I'm more interested in this stage at reflecting what happened, I'm actually going to sort of play it with that narrative in mind. So that they're basically moving into Simhahi, if that's the way you call it, which is actually also spelled TJIMAHI. So TJ Simhahi, I don't know, but anyway, they're the same sort of place. One of the problems with interpreting any of these sort of, the older they get, the harder it gets in relation to where Google represents Google Maps. The place names just change. They change in interpretation anyway. You know, they're probably in different scripts, sort of like whatever our language is in. I can't remember. Anyway, so what we're going to do just up here is infiltrate Jakarta. So at the moment, the the Indonesian forces don't know anything, so I'm not going to respond. I'm not going to respond to that with the Indonesians. Okay, so it's now the Indonesian turn. Now they're not doing anything up here because they don't know that these units are there yet. Here, the reason I sort of paused with that is because what happened as the APRA units moved into Bandung was that that they were actually they were aware of it. They had some advanced warning of this assault. I don't know much more about that, but they sent out a motorized unit to intercept these units. So I'm going to do that now. So we've got the motorized unit, and obviously it's going to be heavily numbered, so let's just do the attack. It was 1 to 4 odds, and they got an attack and retreat, which is interesting. Obviously, that's what you get. And so they retreat with 2 depressions. So that was sort of what happened. I mean, it's not hard to reflect that, and to be quite honest, you know, it's another game mechanism. I doubt that they would have attacked with those sorts of odds, but you know, a motorized unit went out. But you know, the APRA units, they're nice and tough, so they managed to repel that. And the Indonesians are not going to do anything else. So, and here's some more reinforcements as people sort of start to wake up, etc. So the next thing is, I'm just going to make it nice and easy for myself by getting that extra surround. I'd love to put that in there, but I'm not going to try it. We'll try our luck with the errors later. Essentially, I don't know what the odds are going to be. 4 to 1, 3 to 1, and an exchange. Well, historically that's not what I sort of wanted, but that wasn't good. An exchange. That's interesting. Okay. Indonesian turn. I'm still not going to respond to anything here because it's because this didn't sort of happen until a little later, fractionally after this action happens. I will respond in a bit. Here, it's a difficult situation because I'm trying to sort of reflect it historically, and I'm sort of yet to put a gameplay into this. I think, to be quite honest, historically, I think we can sort of possibly assume that in this assault they would have been trying to take these supplies. They haven't tried to take them yet, so I'm sort of going to leave it at that. But what I'm sort of saying is I could either move this motorized company into defend Bandung, or take out the ammunition lorries, but we don't know that they're going for that yet, and I'm not sure that I want to sort of take them into there. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm sort of trying to play not sort of semi-historically, but just trying to play it as a representation of what happened. Obviously we'll play it some other way later. I'm just going to move these out because they just suffered quite hideously, and they are still routing. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to just the game mechanism of shoving them back in there. The units are all going to sort of stay where they are because no one really knows what's happening yet. So we're going to come back into here. Now I'm going to apply common sense after this sort of turn, but I'm going to move these around here. Well, we don't really need much more on that, so I will now try that attack again. It should be 3 to 1 still. Then I press the button. 2 to 1. So I mean, it's frustrating. What I'm going to assume now is that we've made contact with the arms depot, and now we can sort of use this a little more as it should be happening. I'm going to give one more turn for these people not doing anything before they do actually do anything, because essentially what we've got down here is a complete failure to take the ammunition train, which is sort of what happened. Although they did manage to take the city, they just didn't manage to take the ammunition train. Here we're not even managed to take the city. So you know, it's not playing. It's not making it easy for me to explain what's happening. So anyway, can end that. Before I end that turn, I will move these units around. So they're infiltrating Jakarta still. They did actually do that dressed in the uniforms of the Indonesian units, so there is some sort of justification for that continuing to happen. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these units and say they've recovered, and I'm going to see what's happened. Fingers crossed, it doesn't, we don't get a divide by 0. Let's just see what happens. I have no idea. Ha! Well, that seemed to work. 7 to 1 odds, because presumably it was a million, billion, trillion to 1. They only had 0.8 versus 0. So that sort of worked. I'm pretty pleased with that. So back to game. So we've now destroyed the ammunition train. They're going to hold, which now means that this unit can now legitimately start to attack these units, and plus we know that it's going to be a 7 to 1, and the defender was eliminated. Oh, this is so much fun. Let's see. Defender retreat. So that's interesting, really. And just for the hell of it, I'm going to use their second attack down here. Defender eliminated. So we pretty much got this historically. The complete failure to even get as far as it did historically here. Loss of the ammunition train, and then the units in Jakarta being pounded. At this stage, let's maybe get some more units somewhere useful in the turn. At this stage, the Legion of Ratu Adil, APRA, are now going to retreat, which is what they did historically. So this unit here is going to retreat like this, and they're a bit stuffed. They don't really have long. Can we try for another attack? Oh, let's just do it. I've been unlucky. Now super unlucky. They decided to stay around, which is going to be a mistake. Now you can see there's lots of other units suddenly appearing. Okay, so they're going to reinforce Jakarta. These units are going to come down here to the rescue of Bandung. Okay, less than a minute to go. Right, well. And that's that. I'm not going to do much else. We're going to assume that they can run away. But that is the APRA coup d'etat 1950 in a nutshell. Interesting situation. I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to see some chaos you can make happen, you can sign up and try for yourself. Speak to you later. Cheerio. This is just a small addition to what I was saying before. Essentially, what I was trying to get to here is, if the APRA player could get the ammunition dump to the city, then these units would suddenly have fighting strength. But that doesn't actually happen. What I'm saying is hypothetically, because if you sort of look at if you just look at the game, it's got a value of 0. These have got a value of 0. So essentially, if you could get this, I can't move the counter, but if you could get that into there, for example, then these would magically become 3 2s or 2 2s or something like that, and then you could play it. But basically, the game doesn't have that sort of mechanic in it, and so that doesn't happen. But I mean, that's the theory. Now, what I did think about doing was actually setting this up as in duplicate, but actually giving these units numbers, and I could actually just do that straight away, and then sort of say, well, you can't use these units unless you can get the ammunition there. So it's all about sort of rules and things, but that's sort of something that I've been sort of thinking about. Thinking, well, because it's a conditional sort of, not so much statement, it's a conditional event on the ammunition reaching Jakarta. If it did, then you would actually have a different game. Again, I haven't gone sort of too far down the road as to what actually happens, because there were a few other objectives. For example, you have to take this objective, but just on this map, it might be doable. It might actually make a strong game, but the fact is they didn't. So these have zeros. So these are the permutations. I mean, who knows? Further down the road, I might adjust this so that I can put the condition in, or adjust it so that they've actually got values to start with, and then you just don't play them. I don't know. But that's, I thought I'd add that because I was thinking I didn't mention that. Okay, well, I certainly don't want to take any further than that. It's an extra 2 minutes. I'll speak to you later. Cheerio, bye.